A very good morning to one and all. So in this particular session, I would like to talk about what are the applications of TSP for an engineering student. So what is digital signal processing? Any signal you want to digitize and you want to process, we can consider it as an application for us. And then what are the applications if we look at? There are enormous amount of applications, say for example in medical field, like how we already know that MRI scans, CT scans, all these things are nothing but again signal in the form of an image. So they do the analysis, they do come up with the classifications, this is the fault, this is what is happening, like that. Even otherwise in medical field we have something called as biomedical signals, EG, EMG, ECG, all these kind of signals will deal with medical applications. Then automotive control, you might have heard of so many automations right now happening, even the house automation, whatever it could be, or let it be the flight autobot implementation, data flow programming. In electrical engineering, if you ask me for the applications, now it has become with SCADA systems and all other sophisticated technologies, wherein we will have to deal with every analysis with respect to the signals and the data being flown from the central level to the last end point of the load connections. So these things will be available at one particular software itself or at one particular end, where the people can analyze and decide and make decisions then and there remotely. That is with electrical engineering. Then again, coming for information theory, here it deals with encoding and decoding of the signals. Right now, again, here I had mentioned about this in the previous introduction video, wherein I'm talking right now and getting it recorded, or maybe I go live. This speech signal has to be converted into some kind of signal, and that has to be transformed, and again it has to be decoded for you people. All those things happens under the information theory, where the audio whatever I'm speaking will be encoded into some form of coded signals, and that signal will be carried away by the carrier signal in the satellite, and that once it has been received to your end, the inverse of it, the decoding will happen, and again it will be decoded back to the audio signal itself, and which you would hear on your headphones or the speakers. Coming back to the telecommunication, again here the satellite part whatever I'm talking, or the mobile part whatever comes into the picture. See, information theory takes only the coding and decoding part, remaining transmitting these signals from one place to the other place comes under the telecommunication. Then again that is linked with the data communication, because I cannot transmit huge amount of data, so I need to compress it. So compress the given signals, transmit it, and then decompress it to have the better qualities. Then all these things has to happen in real time. When I come for the live session, then it is a real time computing. All this encoding, decoding, compression, telecommunication, everything happens in no go, within a fraction of second. There will not be more than 2 seconds delay or something like that when I'm speaking here and when you're listening there, when it is a live. So that comes as real time computing. And these things if I'm doing with an video, then it is real time video processing, otherwise it would remain as audio processing. So, and also again image processing separately we can study a separate category of this digital signal processing. So let's so be any signal we consider, every signal has its own signature. Like how we say we do have our signatures, where assuming nobody will forger it or something like that, same way here every signal is said to have a signature. Like how we people have our own pitch and tones, if you want we can even implement pitch detection using this MATLAB whatever we are learning, by just autocorrelating or by any the methods. It is simple coding what we do, and give the audio signals, it will detect what is the pitch. Based on the pitch I will be able to tell who is the person, or I can try at least to get. So it is like each signal has its own signature. Then what is that signature? If it is a normal periodic signal, that particular signal will have a spectrum. Hope you people have already practiced whatever Shubha madam has taught you people, how to come up with a FFT for a signal and plot it. So if you plot a FFT for a normal sinusoidal signal, and here is what you are able to see, wherein for a signal with some frequency of 1 kilohertz, just a minute. a signal with a normal sinusoidal signal with 1 kilohertz, I have here the same thing represented on the spectrum where it shows as 1 kilohertz as the frequency and amplitude of whatever the amplitude was there on the time domain. So frequency domain is what gives us the actual signature of that. Because this is a periodic signal, we are able to see it as a one single straight line. But if it is a non-periodic or non-stationary or different kind of signals, we do see some different patterns over here on the spectrum, which will help us decide what kind of signals those are. Then what do I do with this signal processing? How do I start off with it, or where it is all coming from? So if you want to implement the signal processing in your real life applications, or you want to take up projects on this, remember this has unfolded its possibilities into artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. Now no more they call it as signal processing. They call with these kind of nice wordings and all, which are catchy for the people what they listen. But actually what is happening is just the signals what they are taking as the data and they are processing it. And now the recent trend is they call it as data science. Whatever it is, until and unless we have something from the data which is nothing but a signal, and signal in different forms is taken, either it could be under the artificial intelligence or let it be machine learning which does the classifications, or you want to add on some more intelligence to tell whether the COVID is in this state, or even satellite images which will help us to tell what is the drought condition right now. If the rainy season doesn't happen for the next 2 years properly, then we will have to declare some of the areas as completely dry and drought. These kind of analysis we can do based on the images and we can come up with the results. But that now people are grouping under machine learning. Doing that with little bit of intelligence, with little bit of neural networks, they name it as deep learning. Doing it all together and coming up with the fancy words and all, and I will call it as I have included artificial intelligence, where it by itself is telling. It by itself won't tell until and unless you define what to be told, what to be done under. Only thing, now in the present trend we have too many applications, toolboxes readily available, wherein even though you don't know what is a neuron, you don't know what is the classification process happening, you just need to give the inputs and expect the outputs to be coming out from that. So even though we are not an experts in biomedical field, even we can access those images of x-rays and all other things, load to the classifier, ask it to tell whether the cancer is there or not there. It would tell for us. So that skill sets are no more required, because those are already trained or those are already developed in the form of models, and they are available for us in the form of toolboxes. Let's so be it in Python, or let's so be in the MATLAB, whatever we are learning today. So it is all left with how we choose and what we start off, at what point we are starting. Say for example, you want to start off with some ECG data acquisition, and you want to implement some classification of the what kind of person he is, whether he has tachycardia or bradycardia or whatever it is. Or talking in real terms, say I want to classify about the brain signals, whether the person is sleeping or is acting to be sleep, something like that. If I had take up at different levels, say acquisition itself we can take up as a project, or acquisition with minimal noise. So you will concentrate on the acquisition with low pass filters and all such things, and you will concentrate more on the sensors. Say for example you want to identify the faults in the induction motor, then you will go with vibration sensors. The moment I say about vibration, you will have to come up with how do I discard the noises of regular vibrations. I want to pick the vibrations of the motor alone, of the bearing or all other mechanical parts alone. I don't want to hear for the remaining vibrations. So then you will go for the actual sensor designing. Some people will do only the sensor designing and implementation and prove that their sensor is good. Some people will take care of only the acquisition. Some people will take care of the acquisition by proper noise cancellation filtering. Some people will start off from the point of acquired signals, because right now we have too many access for the recorded data, like how I told about this images for cancer or the satellite images, anything it could be. We have free data available at different portals for different applications. You can just access those data directly and start developing your own system to classify or to predict what is it, there is what this machine learning and deep learning and all is coming into the picture. You will directly start off from the acquired data and process on it and come up with your proposals or with your decisions or something like that. So for everything, the start off or the kick start is from the signals itself. It is all processing these signals in different forms. If you are using a neural network, people call it as deep learning. If you are using a classifier to tell what it is, at what stage the cancer is, then I am telling I am using a machine learning concept. If I am including some automation in that to do all these kind of things with, if I place a camera over there for the robot to do the sweeping and mopping, where the camera would pick that images and it would see the stains are more and it will ask the rotations to happen more, so it will concentrate more on that area to clean on. All these things it is working on images or the frames of the video which has acquired, so that comes under computer vision. So these things all just put inside a capsule as artificial intelligence. So you need not get attracted towards what is told by people now. Today people are using these words, tomorrow they may be using anything else, but from the beginning till the end it is just about signals being getting processed. So with this note, I have just given an introduction for how we deal with digital signal processing for different applications. So in the next session, in the next videos onwards, I will talk about how do we deal with those compressions, how would we deal with biomedical signal processing, and how would we deal about this digital signal processing for an astro field of application. So see you in the next videos. Thank you.